Welcome back to the Wellness Paradigm Podcast. Hello there, and welcome to the very first episode of the Wellness Paradigm Podcast. I am so excited you're here, and honestly, I cannot wait for you all to experience this incredible podcast. I have brought some wonderful guests on the show that are going to be sharing their amazing knowledge with you guys, as well as people just sharing their own real life transformation stories through their own personal healing journeys. And I know that this is going to be inspirational, helpful, and I just cannot wait to get this finally in your hands. So, my name is Shannon Salge. I'm a functional nutritionist, bioresonance practitioner, personal trainer, mama, and autoimmune warrior. And I'm really on a mission to help you feel more energized, confident, and in control of your health. And this podcast really became a huge vision of mine after not only coaching thousands of women, but also going through my own really unique healing and powerful healing journey, really. And it just opened my eyes to so much when it came down to what healing really meant, but also what feeling good mentally, physically, and spiritually, like, actually felt like. And I want to share a little bit of my story because, like so many of the women I work with, I didn't always feel good in my body. And I will take you back a little bit here, but I grew up as a professional dancer from a very young age. I was always top of my class, vice president, type A, wanted to get straight A's, that overachiever type. And I really pushed down a lot of my feelings in order to just kind of keep pursuing, being the quotation best, right? And starting when I was a teenager, I started having horrific painful periods where I would just be knocked out for days at a time. I started having really bad cystic acne, and I'm talking like the kind where they'd have to inject cortisone like 3 times into my forehead and cut it open. I mean, very traumatic. I had chronic bloating. I mean, stomach issues which just were so bad. Joint pain, again, very early on, brain fog, hair loss, and other random things that really just didn't make a lot of sense. And, it was brushed off as, you're growing up, you're just a woman and, these hormonal changing years, these things just happen, right? So that was kind of where it was left, right? So fast forward into college, and I really wanted to just study more on how the human body worked, understand a little bit more. It always fascinated me, right? I went on to study kinesiology, exercise science, also double majored in dance because I couldn't quite give that up yet. And I thought I'm going to go to med school and I'm going to really be able to heal people. And that just, the more I went through the traditional medical system, the more I realized that that was not the avenue that I really wanted to be in. I really wanted to be more on the, proactive rather than the reactive side of things. And that kind of changed my trajectory, and I got more into personal training, Pilates, and I had a very successful career managing Lifetime Fitness. I also was on a professional touring company at the like before that, and on the outside, honestly, it was like I looked really successful. But on the inside, I was slowly dying. And this is the story I see with a lot of people. A lot of the clients we work with, very, very high achieving women that, from the outside look like they have it all together. On the inside, they're just pulling red flag after red flag, right? And so, for me, I was working out a ton. I was eating clean, but just I didn't feel right. Like my hormones and my gut health just felt really off, right? I had gone to probably 30 specialists at this time in my early 20s. And, I went to everybody. I was going to my OBs, I was going to GI doctors, I was going to rheumatologists, I was going to pain specialists, I was going to mental health people. I feel like I went through the ringer, physical therapists, chiropractors. But anyways, my labs were always normal, right? I was told that this is probably just overtraining and anxiety. And after a while, you kind of just believe them, you're like, well, maybe they're right, right? Because clearly they're not finding anything. So I must be the problem. And I know that's the story for a lot of the women that we talk to as well. And, a huge turning point for me. You'll hear I talk about this on other podcasts and my podcast, but a huge turning point for me was I even though I didn't really feel good, I thought, how can I push myself further? And I went on to do a bodybuilding show and I won it. It was great until my whole world came crashing down after that. And everything just increased tenfold. My health just completely tumbled. I was at the quotation top of my game with my health, how I looked. But well, I should say with how I looked, not my health. I was definitely not healthy at that point. But things got so bad. My stomach got so bad I couldn't eat anything. Like I was limited to maybe three, four, five foods that didn't just completely aggravate me. My stomach was constantly bloated, horrible issues with stomach issues with constipation, diarrhea, just nobody could figure it out. But the worst was this horrific joint pain that just plagued me. I mean, this wasn't like, oh, my back hurts a little. This was horrible sacroiliac joint and spinal inflammation that got so bad I couldn't get out of bed on my own. And my husband would have to put on my shoes and socks for me. I was on 4 or 5 leaves a day just to walk into work, just to act like I was okay. I was personal training and teaching Pilates for 10, 12 hours a day at this point. And I really struggled to walk. And so I walked with a foam roller because I didn't want to bring attention to me. And then at one point, my dear 80-year-old client whose wife had passed away, he gave me her cane and was like, you need this. Stop acting like things aren't bad. Once you figure this out, you'll be okay. But I still have that cane to this day. And I use that every day for months and months and months while I tried to figure it out. And eventually I was diagnosed after many, 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 many appointments and many different specialists. My fifth rheumatologist was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis. But then I also was, there are things like PCOS, IBS, fibromyalgia, kind of thrown around. And really the only solution I was given was, medications, right? Birth control, PPIs, anxiety meds, biologics, Miralax, and I just knew there was a different way. I knew there was a different way to healing, and I didn't know what it was at the time. I became my own advocate. I studied functional nutrition. I ran functional lab testing. I then went a level deeper into nervous system rewiring and energetic alignment and bioresonance work. And, I also hired incredible mentors, along the way because I truly believe we're not meant to heal on our own. And, slowly I began to heal from the inside out. And today I'm completely medication free. I feel incredible. And, we help so many women, do the same. So if the story resonated with you, just so you know, you're not alone. You can feel better, you can heal, and you deserve to feel empowered in your body again. And really, the show is here to guide you on that journey. We have real conversations, transformative tools, perspectives that go just so far beyond surface level advice and quick fixes. And, some you might not even have heard of before. There's some fun modalities that, I really want to bring to people's awareness that could be something to help guide you on this journey, right? So be sure to hit follow or subscribe so you don't miss any episodes because what's coming is going to shift the way that you see your health, your body, and your healing journey forever. And so thank you for being here. It truly means the world to me. We're just getting started and I cannot wait for what's to come. Now, let's dive into some incredible episodes.